no bueno. Shouldn't be this tough to steer. Welcome back to another episode of Gas Diesel Garage. My name is Jack, and I'm here to make sure you don't get screwed by the dealer. So stay tuned. Now, as you saw by the intro, I got a steering problem, a power steering problem, that is. This power steering pump has gone out on me. In other words, bearings have gone out and it's so bad that it's sucking air, and I got a couple of power steering lines that are sucking air too. When a power steering pump or power steering system sucks air, puts an air pocket in the system, and therefore it's hard to steer, and that's a problem. Here's another way you can tell your power steering there's something wrong with it, or the fluid may be low. You start hearing that screeching and whining noise when you turn. Listen. Don't sound very good, does it? Let's go ahead and pop that hood and let's inspect and see exactly what is wrong. Well, the first thing is obvious. Check your power steering fluid level. Well, that's a good sign. You can stick your finger in it. See if you got any. Okay, that's dry as heck. Yeah, that's pretty low, and it's got a lot of bubbles in it. That means this thing's sucking a lot of air from somewhere, and I am betting that it's in one of those lines. Upon more inspection, you can see down through there how wet that is. That means those clamps pretty much are on its way out, because what it is that when it contracts, it's probably most likely seeping fluid. But if you follow all of the lines down through, because here's your pressure. It's going to come in, it's going to suck in. That's your pressure line. It goes all the way down back through there. If you look all the way down there at the bottom, let's see if I can zoom in on that. Well, anyways, apparently I can't. You see it right down there, got leaks. That hose is pretty much leaking and sucking air, causing all those air bubbles. So that's going to need to be replaced. And sure, down through there it's leaking also. But we're just going to go ahead, do the power steering pump anyways, and do all the lines, because pretty much they're cheap to do if you do them yourself, so you don't get screwed by the dealer. Now you're going to need your most common tools for these Hondas, which would be a 10mm, a 12mm, and a 14mm. Of course, the 14mm is going to be taking off the belt tensioner, just like in the last video when we did the alternator. We got to remove the belt, obviously, to get that power steering pump off. I like to do the power steering pump first, because then when I do the lines, all the fluid can start filling back in there, because some of the lines are still going to have stuff in it. But anyways, that's just what I do. Now to unmount the power steering pump from the block, you've got a 12 millimeter right there, a 12 millimeter down on the bottom of this, right down in there. Should be simple enough. Then of course you just take your hoses off, your 10 millimeter, and then we'll go from there. Now if you don't want a bath with all the power steering fluid leaking all over you, just go ahead and clamp it off. Now I don't have my hose clampers because I left them at work, but anyways, vice grips will do just as good. Just go ahead and just pinch the hose off just like that. The next thing you gotta do is take the two 10 millimeter bolts that hold the pressure line in that goes into the steering rack. There we go. Make sure you don't lose these bolts, because that'll suck. Ooh, there we go. Alright, now that we got the power steering pump out, oh, well, can't believe I just did that, but oh well, okay, put that back in there. That's what can happen if you don't block it off. But anyways, now it's time to put your brand new one in. Now of course I got this off Amazon, of course, link in the description below if you want to pick yourself up a brand new power steering pump, not refurbished, brand new. This thing probably run you about 60 bucks. At the dealer, probably run you about 200, 250, and then plus the labor, so getting some savings there. So, oh, and also too, grab your pressure hose, brand new also, link in the description below. Pick you up one, save you some money, and don't get screwed by the dealer. Now, of course, as you can already tell, the brand new power steering pump does not come with the pulley. So obviously we're gonna have to transfer that pulley onto the new one. Right, now of course we got the power steering pump in, and we got the belt on, and this hose down here that runs down to the reservoir. But the other step was, if you remember, we had this pressure hose, which is this right here. But I'm not connecting that right now because we are replacing that pressure hose. It sits right there. Now you can get it from the top, or you can do it from the bottom, but I like to get it from the top because I have to put jack stands down and don't have to jack it up, don't have to crawl on my back and everything else. So we're going to try to do this thing from the top. Now, as you see, got that bolt right there that holds it from the top, or keeps it on the top of the valve cover, I guess you could say, or secures it. But then if you look all the way down there, it runs the length of the rack and pinion, and it goes into the steering gear right there, which I can obviously reach it. So let's just continue on and we'll show you what's happening. All right, now you can see that pressure sensor down there. Got to disconnect that. As you can see, disconnect that. Then you got a 10mm bolt right there and a 10mm bolt down there. Okay, now that we got the old one out, we have to transfer a couple things. Got to transfer that bushing right there. That clamps it to the frame. Got to take that one out. And where's the other one? There's another one around here somewhere. But anyways, and we got to take that sensor out. And of course, if you'd like to pick one up for next to nothing, link in the description below. Get Amazon to send it right to the house. Alright, we got the power steering pump installed, and we got the power steering high pressure line installed, and we filled the reservoir up with some fresh power steering fluid. Now it's time to start this thing up so the engine can get them RPMs up, so all the air bubbles will bloop, 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 out of the reservoir. Now Hondas are pretty good about self bleeding, if you will, so just let the thing run, it'll work itself out. There's no need to jack the thing up and then start turning the wheel left to right like most power steering systems are, but Hondas, like I said, are pretty good about self bleeding. So just start it up, let it run, just turn the wheel. See what I mean? No screeching at all, and that's the first time I started it right after the repair and install, so it goes to show you Hondas are pretty good daggone cars. No screeching from the belt. Sounds like this thing is fixed. Alright, now that we got the power steering fixed in the Honda, I say that this job is a wrap. And I saved you from going to the dealer and getting screwed. Don't do that. Because keep this in mind. All the mechanic shops and dealers, they buy the parts from the same place that you would go and buy it yourself, like CarQuest, Napa, any of those places. See, when they buy those parts, they're going to mark it up at least 2.5%, but you're going to be paying almost 3 times more than what that part is worth, because they want to make money off parts and they want to make money off the labor. So do yourself a favor, grab your own parts, order them online, and do it at home in your garage. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for the post notifications so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, peace.